Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Marcus.
I look like I'm wearing MJF's scarf, but like a dollar store version.
My God, you're right.
It's
Hate
just
that you're
missing like
right.
that Burberry red stripe.
For the best.
Yeah.
For the best. Happy Impact Day. And what a happy Impact Day it was, my God.
It was a pretty fun show. Pretty fun show. Like just from the start it was great. Um some great matches sprinkled through. A lot of good teasers for No Surrender, which is happening next weekend. But before we talk about Impact, we should talk about this coming Sunday.
Your audio is a little weird.
Is it? I wish you told me earlier.
I didn't hear it earlier.
How is it? How is it weird?
It's only when you're talking for like a long period of time, it almost like there's like a fan running in the background, which might just be your computer. I don't know.
Not, I don't know.
It's not awful. It's just something I picked up.
Well, actually, Discord might not have kept my voice settings from switching my computer. Yeah, noise reduction's turned off. Oh, I know. Noise suppression is on. I don't know. But I hope no one else can hear and none of the audience can hear. But regardless, let's talk about this coming Sunday. As always, we do a weekly special show, like a pay-per-view show. Last weekend we did the Royal Rumble. This week on Sunday we will be covering GCW versus Loco Fight Club 2 in Houston. Now we're choosing this over what's their other one? Fuck, what's the name of their other shows? Like If I Die or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. If I Die First. We're choosing the Fight Club 2 because there's more title matches. It seems like there's bigger stars that'll be there. So yeah. We normally do the bigger shows that are happening. What's that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I said. For the third.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Especially with AJ Gray defending his title. I forget against who. I don't have the card open.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's not. Was that supposed to be Leo Rush or no?
No. I know he's defending it against Ali Catch at If I Die First. Cagematch.net, not .com. Silly me. Let's see. So that's happening tomorrow, but we'll be covering it on Sunday. King Rami, we're covering Impact today, but we're going to be talking about news from all other promotions. And this Sunday we'll be covering GCW's Fight Club 2. AJ Gray is defending his title against Mysterious Q. I think from Loco. Dante Leon defends against Sam Stackhouse. Effie versus Brian Keith. Nick Wayne versus Ninja Mac. Atticus Kogar versus Gino Medina. Matt Tremont versus Sadika. Grand Metalik is also making his first appearance since being released from WWE as Mascara Dorada. And that'll be in a fatal 4-way match against Gringo Loco, Blake Christian, and ASF. And then there's a 6-man match happening.
Hell yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. King Rami.
Also, I can see my. Oh, sorry.
I think there's a delay in the call. Because I started talking before you started talking. So.
My video quality is like trash. Apparently, like I keep seeing like the video connected thing on Discord, like flickering between green, yellow, red, and back and forth. Like, I'm sure this is fine. I'm sure everybody's enjoying this. I'm having fun.
I mean, your quality looks fine. It's just you're a bit stuttery, video wise. I don't know what happened all of a sudden with your connection.
It's been like this for me since the beginning of this call.
It was doing it a bit yesterday, like a little bit. I don't know what happened. But King Rami asked, what do you guys think about Jeff Hardy? Do you guys think he should be in AEW? We'll answer questions more in depth at the end of the show, but yeah, he should be with his brother.
Yeah, I think that I think that they're pretty hell bent on having a Hardy family reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're definitely gonna get that. I really hope so. I would be so sick.
Yeah.
I think it's what the people want. I think a lot of people are into nostalgia wrestling nowadays, which why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
I think we're lucky that people can still wrestle.
Yeah. But yeah, this Sunday we'll be covering GCW and Loco Fight Club 2. We won't be doing a live watch along because Friday is our WWE 2K20 live stream. So join us on Sunday for the GCW recap. All right, you want to talk about the news?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I got a couple pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, I would switch Wi-Fi's, but I don't know if that's gonna be if that would make things better or worse or not at all or
might make things. I don't think it'll make things worse.
Well, when I drop out of this call, you're.
I think she did it. I think she dropped out of the call. Oh nope, she's still here. I hear her whistling. Can you hear me? Oh, nope, I guess she can't. That was weird. That was weird. I heard you whistling, but I guess you didn't hear me.
I heard you through the wall. I didn't hear you.
Oh, that's weird. Because I heard you over Discord whistling.
Oh, did you? It's kind of ominous.
Yeah. All right. So, news.
This is worse for me. I'm lagging on my end now, too.
That might be a computer thing, not an internet thing, if you're seeing yourself lag like that.
I don't know.
You're supposed to see yourself smoothly because, you know, it takes no internet to see yourself in your webcam.
It may have also just been my computer figuring its shit out real quick there.
Maybe. But
so it was only for a couple seconds.
We'll figure this out afterwards.
Yeah. Let me pull up Les News. First piece of news, the Olympics are happening soon. Hope everyone's excited. Let's start with some W. Yeah, doing a spelling bee probably.
Scooter race.
Bless his soul, he's doing the best. Mm-hmm. Let's do some WWE news because none of it's really good. Apparently, we've got some real news as to why Shane was kicked out of the WWE, and that is because apparently he and Vince went at it on Saturday. According to Wade Keller of PW Torch, things really unraveled with him and his dad on Saturday. Things were not good, according to what I heard. Apparently, they said Shane got to the next level with Vince, and I was like, it's his father. I think he's allowed to, but okay. I too have yelled at my parents before. They didn't fire me.
Yeah, I'm also very skeptical about all this Shane McMahon stuff. Because why all of a sudden would this be happening after 40 years in the company?
I don't know. I don't know. It seems serious, though. It seems real.
Plus, it's also been, like, all of this was initially reported on by Ringside News. And yeah, Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp confirmed it. But I don't know to what extent a lot of this is true. Like, is he really arrogant, or is WWE trying to make a narrative of it?
I think that you're falling into that trap of being a wrestling fan where you're like, is it a work? Who knows?
No. I'm not doing the work thing, but I'm like, remember when Bray Wyatt was released? They said he had attitude problems and was hard to work with. How do we know this isn't that same situation where Bray just had a problem with how he was booked? And
okay. I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
You're saying that maybe the WWE is embellishing what happened and they let Shane go for reasons that would probably get them demonized.
Yeah.
It's possible. I wouldn't be like shocked if that were the case by any means.
Especially with how so many people have become so frustrated in WWE. That kind of, I'm going to mention this other story real quick. Morale's at an all-time low so far in WWE. This seems to be spanning further than just Shane McMahon. How do we know Shane's the problem here?
I mean, on top of that, Tyson Kidd is apparently, in some tangential way, no longer with the company. Sort of, kind of, not really court, but maybe kind of, sort of.
He hasn't been producing for weeks, but Sean Ross Sapp spoke with sources in WWE, and they say he's still there, technically, but he's not producing.
Right. Which was his main thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in turn with that, people are pissed about him not producing stuff because they don't want to be part of something that he hasn't produced as far as women's matches are concerned, and I can't blame anybody.
Right. I mean, look at last year's Women's Royal Rumble and look at this year's. There's a stark contrast in quality.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like rough out there right now, it seems. Mm-hmm. Like, I am not jealous of anybody in the WWE.
And Tyson, TJ Wilson did say that he it had nothing to do with Natty losing in 3 seconds.
Sure it didn't. And Mickie James's release had nothing to do with Nick Aldis.
What happened with Nick Aldis?
Didn't he say some like nasty shit about WWE and then like maybe a couple weeks later Mickie was released? Which I'm sure it fell into the same time. I mean, she got released with a bunch of other people. So I'm sure that makes it better. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Okay. Sorry. Back to the news. We could talk about this all day. The WWE is also suggesting, and by WWE I mean Nick Khan is also suggesting that there could be more than 2 Saudi Arabia shows this year. More than 2. Which, more than 1 already sounds like a bit much. Mm-hmm. More than 2?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Nick Khan basically said, why not have more than 2? Because they're making, what was it, 50 million a pay-per-view?
I think that's the number you quoted to me.
Which is fucking insane. That's an insane amount of money, first of all. An insane amount of blood money, second of all. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, I don't want to see more than 2 Saudi Arabia shows. In the same way that I don't need to see more than 2 major events in any fucking city.
We'll probably get the Big Four in Saudi Arabia, probably. Maybe like Survivor Series. I doubt we'll get a WrestleMania there, but...
Well, not this year, and not next year. So, at the very least.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, they don't do more than 2 pay-per-views. Really, they don't do more than 1 pay-per-view a year in like a city, or not. I guess not a city. I don't want to say a city because Saudi Arabia is not just a city.
Yeah.
But for this context, in a state, even. I mean, I guess last year doesn't count. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think that matters in this case if they're making $50 million each show.
What I'm saying is that it's not. It's transparent what they're doing, I guess.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, I mean, we Texas, Nevada, Ohio, Saudi Arabia, Brooklyn, and Chicago. Which was supposed to be TLC.
It's all about making their price higher for when they sell. That's why they brought Nick Khan in the first place. That's why they've been releasing all these people. Why they're doing all these shows in Saudi Arabia, so that they can show how much money they're making with this content creation product, not pro wrestling. Content creation. They show buyers it's making hundreds of millions of dollars, $50 million alone in Saudi Arabia. So it's worth a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in 2019, we had, England, Arizona, Florida, Texas, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Connecticut, Saudi Arabia, Washington, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Canada, Wales, North Carolina, California, Saudi Arabia again, which I guess they did Super Showdown, and then they did Crown Jewel. Illinois, Georgia, Minnesota. Like, I don't know. It makes me just crazy because I know what they're doing and it's stupid. And it just I guess it makes me crazy because it just reinforces the idea that the WWE doesn't actually care about wrestling anymore. They really don't.
They don't. And I don't think they have for a while. It's been all years. Ever since they hired Nick Khan, they've been a bland product that's been all about content creation, but it's not even good content creation, like especially with how they want to be that like a Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're not interesting enough for that. Their product is not interesting enough to be as big as that. But
when did Nick?
I don't know. I don't know the year, but
he joined in August 2020 as the president of WWE and CRO. Anyways,
but yeah, I mean they're making money and they got big stars. Like I mean, they've been showing off John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey. Look at all these big names. We're showing off all of our big names right now and removing the bottom line. Removing the people not on the main card. Why that would include Brock Lesnar, or Braun Strowman, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Back to some more news. Santino Marella's daughter is signed with WWE now.
Yeah, on a lighter note.
Yeah. To round out our WWE news. Yeah, so there's that. We've got some indie news, not indie. Well, one is indies, one is not indies. Progress announced a partnership with English football team, the Tranmere Rovers, for the rest of the 2021-2022 football season, which is interesting because that's only a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, have fun. And by only a couple of months, I mean like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope it works out. Maybe if it works out, they'll do more.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, so I think that's super fun. I'm excited about that.
Progress has been doing some good stuff. I mean, they had Anthony Agogo show up pretty recently.
So two of my favorite things.
Anthony Agogo?
No, wrestling and soccer. But sure. I don't know. Yeah, Anthony Agogo. Woohoo! Other news, John Maxley is going to return to Njpw. He is going to be at their Windy City Riot show that's happening on April 16th, 2022. Ooh. When is WrestleMania?
It's April.
I meant date.
Let's see.
Because I think that's
Is it 38? Yeah, April 3rd.
Okay, so like, oh god, April's gonna be a bit of a fucking haul.
Yeah.
If you will.
And Windy City Riot's in April, right?
That's April 16th. Then Rebellion for Impact is April 23rd.
Oh god.
Yeah. That's a loaded month.
There's another show happening that was like announced for WrestleMania week. I think Warrior Wrestling announced something. Big show. I know there was a big show that was announced for WrestleMania week.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I wish there was like a way to just look up everything happening.
There is.
WrestleMania week. All right, well, while you do it, I'm just going to give us our last piece of news that I have, which is that AEW has teamed up with the American Heart Association to kick off American Heart Month, which I didn't know that was this month. But they have special co-branded t-shirts that say AEW has a heart, and it's got like this little muscular heart dude lifting up the sign. And each shirt, $2 from it is going to be sent directly to American Heart Association's Life is Why campaign.
Huh. Yeah. So you want to know everything that's happening WrestleMania week?
Oh, fucking hit me, please.
All right. So, oh my god. So on the 31st, there's GCW's Joey Janela Spring Break Part 1. Also happening on the 31st is GCW's For the Culture 2022. And that same day, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Then Supercard of Honor, April 1st. April 1st is also GCW Gringo Locos, The World on Lucha. April 2nd is Joey Janela Spring Break 2. Let's see. Strong Style Evolved is happening May 20th. That's a bit further away. But yeah, Supercard of Honor is a big one happening then. And then all those GCW shows.
Jesus H.
That's gonna be
a fun month.
It's gonna be a huge week, huge month. Yeah, Windy City Riot's gonna be a lot of fun. Rebellion's gonna be a lot of fun.
I've been like so removed from wrestling lately because like with NJPW not happening, I feel like there's a part of me that's just like, well, I'm not gonna make the effort. But I know when that comes back, I'm gonna be back on my bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that all the news we have?
That's all the news I got.
It's not actually. There's one more. GCW announced they're doing something in the UK. They released a video on social media that's talking about more details to come in the future, but they're making a move to the UK. I think a new promotion like JCW. But the details are not available yet. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see the video anymore, but maybe it's on their Twitter, not their Instagram. I could have sworn I saw it in Instagram. But yeah, that's exciting. There's a lot of great talent in the UK, as we know from Progress. It'll be very interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. Funny enough, when you read that off to me, I thought you said ECW, and I was like, oh fuck.
Imagine.
Damn. Welcome back. But that's awesome. That's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it though. Why can't I find it? Oh well. All right. So you want to talk about tonight's episode?
Yeah, because I've got a fuck ton to talk about tonight, I guess. There were not a ton of promos tonight.
There were, yeah, it was a little bit. All right, so first we started off immediately with the title match. Matt Cardona versus Jordan Grace for the Digital Media Championship. This match, this was so much fun. So good.
Let me try to not have the hiccups while I talk about this. There was nuance to this match, and I don't really like Matt Cardona that much, but like, I didn't hate this match. I hate that I didn't hate this match, actually.
Now you're starting to see why he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I did enjoy this match.
He is probably an indie wrestler's dream. To like just find so much success going from promotion to promotion. Having fun.
Yeah. He's on that grind, though.
He doesn't rest. And I'm so glad he's bringing this heel character to Impact now.
One might say that he's always ready.
It's a weird segue.
Yeah. The problem is that we've been watching so much GCW that I forgot that he wasn't a heel in Impact.
Yeah.
So, oh fuck me! I love talking about athletes, and I just move my shoulder wrong, and I'm like,
this is why we watch and we don't participate.
Fucking crippled. God, it hurts so bad. It's like going down my arm.
Oh God.
Anyways. How are you gonna say that was a weird segue? Now I'm stuck on this. That's literally his thing, always ready.
Yeah, but what did that have to do with him being a heel?
Because I was saying because he's like always doing, like he's always wrestling. That's not a weird segue. That made total sense. I backed down on that one, but I'm backing back up. I was right. Thank you.
You happy?
I don't know. Honestly.
Miriam said, so you're telling me we're not getting the Pinfall Podcast tag team debut at Bloodsport?
Listen, I might be fragile, but I'm scrappy. I'm pretty scrappy. I'll bite some ankles.
Yeah.
What can you do, Mark? What can you bring to the table?
We'll take on Nick Gage and Matt Tremont. And the Briscoes.
Yeah.
Triple threat tag team match.
I don't think I want to fight the Briscoes. I don't know about that one. Nick Gage I'll fight.
Take that pizza cutter to the forehead.
Yeah.
Thing's dull.
I've already got some wrinkles up there. Actually, I'd rather it be sharp, honestly.
You'd rather it be sharp?
Well, yeah, because if somehow he's going to draw blood one way or the other, I'd rather be a sharp instrument that's doing it than a dull instrument.
It's not. He doesn't like dig that deep. Like it's just enough to be like a small cut.
Right. But what I'm saying is that like if you're to cut yourself with a dull knife and you still draw blood versus to cut yourself with like a sharp knife, one's gonna hurt a lot less.
The only reason I would rather it be dull is because he really rolls over that thing, and you don't want a sharp thing going over that many times as he does it.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, if you will, or a double-edged pizza cutter. God damn it, Elizabeth. At it again. Anyways.
There's no edges on a pizza cutter, though. It's a circle. You have two edges on a fucking circle.
I mean, technically it's got an edge. It's just it doesn't have corners.
It has an edge, but you can't have two.
A donut.
But a pizza cutter is not a donut.
I'm gonna have to workshop this one.
Just start the match, please. I don't know how we started talking about this.
This might be, we might be able to track this back to Miriam.
Yeah.
Right, Miriam. So, Jesus fuck.
Thank you, Miriam, for the 50 bits. She said for the jokes and laughs tonight.
Okay. Cough, cough. We get a shoulder tackle to Jordan Grace, and then Cardona kind of was like trying to be like weirdly like honorable, not to mention the Honor No More group. He was like trying to like shake her hand and like trying to be like kind of courteous about this, and it's like you're in a wrestling match, buddy. You don't need to do that.
The storyline in this match was so great because he starts off as like pure face, showing full honor.
I don't know. I did like, because I said to you, I was like, I didn't like how hesitant he was to fight Jordan, but you kind of made a good point.
Yeah, like his whole heel gimmick is that he's the WWE guy, and in WWE it's like forbidden. You can't hit a woman, and so he's so torn on whether or not he can hit a woman. I mean, even in GCW, he's so hesitant to hit Alley Catch.
It's true. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a little bit that I liked. I was like, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Jordan sends Matt into the buckle. He no-sells some shoulder tackles. Jordan Grace ends up tripping Matt, gets a successful shoulder tackle, hits a Cazadora, roll up into a flapjack. Jordan then goes face first into the mat off the buckles. She gets suplexed into the buckles, and then Cardona like is really showing his like I don't want to do this kind of side.
Yeah.
We end up getting a suplex to Grace and a leg drop. He starts kind of getting cocky, and you can kind of see it like switching on. He whips Grace into buckle after buckle, hits her with a body slam, smacks her up with a big lariat, and then Jordan ends up getting a spinebuster onto Cardona and a drop kick to the knee. Eventually, Jordan sends Cardona from the ring. Cardona grabs a chair, hits Jordan Grace in the head with it, gets back in the ring, hits her with a famouser to win the match, get the belt, and turn heel.
It was so good. It was so good. It's like, it's the reason I love Matt Cardona. He's a great storyteller. And that suplex into the turnbuckles was like such a great spot because commentary was really helping sell that too.
Mm. Yeah, I liked the match a lot. I thought it was a good match.
All right, so up next we have we see Morrissey backstage. He's laying out a bunch of jobbers, all the people in the learning tree from last week. He's shouting, "Where are they? I'm gonna find you." He starts running around. He sees the learning tree, knocks VSK over, chases down Zicky Dice, and then sees Brian Myers, chases him down, but then security stops him. And then after commercial, we come back and we get W. Morrissey and Scott D'Amore. Scott says, "You want to get your hands on Myers? I'll let you. Next week, you and him, no DQ, rip his head off." That's going to be like a 2-second match. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
But you've got Musa No Surrender. He's not here. He's at a hotel. And Morrissey's like, "Okay, good to know." And he goes off. And the upcoming promo, the upcoming segment in the hotel room, I've already written that down as one of the possible segments for most ridiculous promo of the year for the Megromies.
I think that's fair. I think you're right to do that.
We'll see what else happens this year. It is only February, but it's so funny. So now we get Jonah versus Crazy Steve.
Crazy Steve! God, I love Crazy Steve. And if you think it's pronounced crazy, you're wrong, and I am sorry.
If it's pronounced crazy, then you're crazy.
Got him! Fucking slam dunk. So unfortunately, Crazy Steve lasts about 5 minutes. He gets some strikes. He scales Jonah, as Tom Hannafan says, and then bites his head, which is just such a crazy move.
So crazy.
So crazy. Eventually, Jonah swats Crazy Steve out of the air. He then pancakes Steve and sentons onto him, hits him with the tsunami to obliterate Mr. Crazy Steve. Soldier.
Oh, God. All right. So, after that, we get an interview with Matt Cardona. This was also great. So, Cardona says, "I made history. I'm finally digital media champion." He says, "Why don't you ask Jonathan Gresham how it feels to be married to a loser? Bye."
The fucking way he said bye, I was like, no, throw him out.
I'm telling you, heel Cardona is the best.
I do not agree, but I love your fervor.
You know my love for Cody? Take that and make it unironic. That's my love for Matt Cardona.
That's the problem.
Alright, so then we get Madison Rayne and Caleb with a K backstage. Caleb says, "We were so close, we were almost champions." Madison says, "No, we weren't. I will be tag team champ when Tenille comes back. The Inspiration can have a match against the actual Influence." Inspiration comes in, and they say, "We came bearing gifts. It's not for you, Madison, though. It's for Caleb. Don't open it now. We'll leave and then go for it." So they leave. Caleb opens it and shows a new phone with the Inspiration as the background. And he said it's a 21. I'm going to assume it's a Galaxy. Unless it's like a fucking Google phone that's...
I assumed it was a Galaxy.
Yeah. Good to know Caleb with the K is an Android user. So then...
Yeah. Oh.
He's like me.
So what do I expect from a guy that wears a neck brace as a fashion statement?
So then we get Steve Macklin versus Jonathan Gresham. Impact rules. No pure rules. Man, after last week, or the match from 2 weeks ago, and this pales in comparison.
Yeah.
Like, this was fine if it hadn't ended in DQ. It would have been so much better if it didn't end in DQ.
The one thing that they have is that there's a lot of personality in their matches, which I do like.
Yeah.
We get a flying head scissors to Macklin and then some taunting before a dropkick. There's a lot of evasion of other moves, specifically from Gresham. Macklin puts Gresham into a head scissors submission hold. Gresham tries to break free multiple times, only to be thrown back into that submission. Eventually, Gresham gets a headlock on Macklin. Macklin hits him with a belly-to-back suplex, but Gresham keeps the headlock. Instead, Macklin ends up snapping Gresham into the ropes, hits him with a double underhook backbreaker. Macklin then slaps Gresham. Gresham is kind of ready for like a little exchange. They go back and forth for a bit. Eventually, Macklin DQs the match by pushing Gresham into the ropes and beating on him mercilessly until the ref says, "Hey, can you fucking stop?" And Macklin says, "No."
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the DQ happens.
Yeah, we need...
And then...
Oh.
I was just going to finish off.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like
to? Sure. Honor No More comes out and attacks Macklin after the match. Jonathan Gresham walks up the ramp, and Honor No More is trying to get him to come into the ring and join them because, Ring of Honor guys gotta stick together. But then Josh Alexander comes out, and him and Gresham have a little face-to-face. So we might get a rematch after that Terminus double finish or a double pin, which would be very cool. And
is that what happened?
Yeah, it was a double pin.
Oh yeah, that was a weird one.
It was very weird. But you take two of the most protected guys in professional wrestling and actually have a finish. Who's gonna win?
That's true.
But yeah, so that happens. But we need Macklin versus Gresham, no DQs.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gresham would do that. Would he do a no DQ?
Maybe.
I would love to see
Fingers
that.
Crossed.
And that's like Macklin's territory. Macklin has to win that.
That'd be sick. Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Imagine the rub that would give Macklin.
Yeah. Oh my god. And I think it's what he deserves. Also, I mean, he's potentially going over to New Japan. It would be good for him to get the little pushes he can here and there.
Yeah.
Especially going to, I mean, if he goes to New Japan proper, especially. If he goes to Strong, then.
Macklin versus Ishii. That'd be sick.
Dude, I'd love to see Macklin versus Evil just so I can have Dick Togo comes up with the garrote and Macklin just stares at him like, I'm fucking sorry.
I'd rather see Crazy Steve versus Evil.
Dude, Evil wouldn't know what to do with Crazy Steve.
Black Taurus would tear Dick Togo apart.
And Rosemary could take on Yujiro.
And Havoc for show. And then the garrote wouldn't even work on Crazy Steve. He'd be too crazy for it.
He'd be way too crazy for the garrote. New Japan?
Now I'm just imagining dream opponents for Macklin. I hope he goes to New Japan proper because he'd be so good. He'd be so damn good.
He would be.
Him versus Shingo. Ooh. Or even
that'd be cool.
Macklin versus Ospreay would be fucking insane.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. There's a lot of good stuff. I think that's why Macklin would look good over there, and I think that's why he's in talks with them.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Windy City Riot. Hopefully it's done.
Maybe.
So,
where's Macklin from?
Where's he from? New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. Because Tom made a comment, I think, today where he was like, oh, he's from... It was either Tom or Matt, and he said, oh, he's from Jersey. That makes sense.
It was
and I was
Tom. It was Tom. It's very much like, ew, he's from Jersey.
Well, Tom is from Philadelphia.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I guess technically they are like next door neighbors.
That makes sense.
So fair enough, Tom. You can have this one.
So after
He was also born on May 19th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
After Alexander comes out, we get Vincent versus Josh Alexander.
Yeah, and this was a fun match because I am having so much fun with the Honor No More group. They're so fun.
But matches like this are so overbooked. So
overbooked. Who cares?
Like,
I had the time of my life.
It's gonna make the pay-per-view matches so much better. Like the 5-on-5 is gonna be great. I hope they give us like one insane singles match of like Matt Taven versus Josh Alexander or something like that.
I don't think we'll get that. Because we got Saban versus PCO, we got Vincent versus Alexander. Next week we're getting
Rich Swann and Rhino.
Rich Swann and Rhino versus OGK, I think.
Yeah.
Who's left for Eddie Edwards to fight?
Kenny King.
Oh. Well, now you spoiled the end of the match. My God, Marcus.
We're a recap. It's what we do.
Yeah, you're right. It was gonna get spoiled in about 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Still wondering why Eddie Edwards was hesitant to beat up Vincent. Questions. All right. So Josh gets Vincent on his shoulders. He goes to the apron. Vincent swoops down, sits on the apron for a minute. Josh then like crossbodies him off of the apron through the ropes, which was very confusing. And I did not understand it entirely. It looked weird. Then Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis distract the referee while Vincent takes advantage. He sends Josh into the barricade. Matt Taven then hovers over Josh Alexander and the ref says, "Can you fucking stop it?" And Matt Taven says, "I'm giving him inspirational quotes." And I said, I fucking hate everybody in this room, actually. Vincent ends up getting a guillotine on Josh, but Josh suplexes himself free. He chops Vincent in the chest, hits him with a standing suplex. Then a side Russian leg sweep to Alexander causes Vincent to go up top. He hits the red rum, but not the red rum that you're thinking of. It's the other red rum.
How fucked? Gimmick infringement. To be fair,
Vincent had it first. Had it first.
Do we know that for sure?
I'm gonna guess, but maybe I'm wrong. Josh ends up kicking out. He turns shit around with an ankle lock. Bennett, however, distracts. PCO distracts. Then Taven goes fucking... Mike Bennett distracts somewhat successfully. I think he gets knocked off the apron. I think so does PCO. And then Matt Taven decides that he's going to jump in the ring, go after Alexander. Alexander just loads him out, and Taven goes flying over the top rope. And I was like... Okay. Then Maria distracts Josh. Vincent rolls him up. It does not work. Saban and Rhino and Swann come out to stop. Okay. I'm gonna ignore that. Nothing. Don't worry about it. To stop the group of Honor No More folks. Eventually there's a stomp to the back of Vincent's leg and then an ankle lock that gets Alexander the win. And then who comes out but Kenny King?
I've been wondering where he was gonna land. Yeah,
we hadn't seen. I mean, you do the rankings, so you would know better than I would. But I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen him at all. But it's good to see that he landed an Impact because he's a great talent. His last match in Ring of Honor was incredible.
I'm curious now that I feel like these people are not going back to Ring of Honor. Only because at this point, with all of the shit that they've done, with all of the we thought Ring of Honor was about honor, but it's not. So like, why would we be? Blah blah blah. I can't imagine them like going with their tails tucked between their legs, like, "Hey guys, we're back for this first show."
Oh, there's gonna be like a civil war probably for Supercard of Honor.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be more Ring of Honor talent that comes to Impact to be like the good guys, you know? Take on the heels of Impact.
I wonder if the Foundation's gonna come.
Oh, Foundation. Well, they've been showing up elsewhere, but yeah, I could see them coming to Impact.
Yeah, I only say because Gresham's there representing the Foundation, as they say.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And who of all the people there, who would be the ones that would come and like try to defend Ring of Honor's honor?
Yeah, Tony Deppen.
Exactly. Boom.
Oh God, I fucking love Tony Deppen so much. All right.
As everybody.
Also, real quick, another little piece of news that just popped up in my feed. Apparently Nick Khan, according to Wrestling Observer, Nick Khan indicates there are going to be more players for bidding on WWE rights than there were for the last round of deals.
What?
There's more people bidding on WWE. It's Saudi money. Saudi money.
I didn't understand that at all, but I guess I understand it now. Because I thought Nick Khan was saying that they weren't entertaining anybody placing bids, if you will.
That was most likely a lie. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder who's.
I guess
gonna
like
buy.
if you're like keep the investors like comfortable, you'd be like, no, of course not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, after the match, Kenny King comes out and lays out Josh Alexander. I don't know if you mentioned that part already. Okay.
I think you mentioned that part.
Did I?
I think so.
I mentioned it before we started talking about the match.
Oh, maybe I'm replaying shit in my head.
But after that, we see W. Morrissey, wandering around a hotel, around the halls, stops at a door, and kicks down the door. And then starts brawling with Moose in the hotel room, and this was so funny. Because you could tell they were being so careful with everything.
Yeah.
And also, imagine being in the room next door. You just hear the door get kicked in. And then just brawling.
You're just like, well, honey, guess another wrestling show's in town.
But like the softest brawling you can imagine. Miriam asked how many doors did Morrissey break down before he got to Moose's room. Yeah, how did he know? How did he know it was his? He can't go to a hotel desk and ask for somebody's room. That shit's illegal.
No, you know what happened? Scott D'Amore realized like he made that slip where he said, oh, he's at the hotel now. And he's like, well, maybe to avoid getting sued by everybody else in that hotel, I'm just gonna file you. Like, it's just safer this way for everybody involved.
How did he also know they're in Fort Lauderdale? How do you know which hotel?
Well, Mark, obviously it's the hotel.
Oh, the Fort Lauderdale hotel. You're right.
The Fort Lauderdale hotel.
You're right. The only one in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, don't you know they only have one hotel there?
Oh, God. The more I think about it, the more ridiculous this is. All right. So after that, I should also mention when they're brawling, Morrissey puts Moose's head in the freezer and starts bashing his head in with the freezer.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite part because it was just so like gentle that he was doing it. I was like,
also that hotel room looks so much nicer than this $500 a night hotel room that I shot in recently. $500 a night, and it was like 1 square foot, maybe like 5 square feet. A suite.
Where was it?
It was in I think it was Upper East Side.
Well, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Location. But yeah, that actually with the kitchen there, that looked like a nice space.
I didn't like the popcorn walls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
those always kind of give me like seedy motel vibes.
Yeah, that kitchen was nice.
Well, it's nice to have a kitchen. Yeah, it's like a suite.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell us about your favorite things on hotel rooms.
All right, so then we get a Honor No More promo. Matt Taven says, in this BS world of pro wrestling, people are always being disrespected. Things are changing. And PCO says, changing. Like Squidward from that episode of SpongeBob.
So, in part of my workout, I have, you have like your legs up, like you're on your back and you got your legs up.
Mm-hmm.
And you do your crunches that way. For some reason, it's harder. And every time I just feel like Squidward in that episode of SpongeBob, where he's like, future! Because that's how I feel, because I'm just like going up and down in like this weird like angular position. And that's sort of what PCO did. And Matt Taven and like Bennett are just like sitting there like, calm down.
Oh no, he's at it again. Then Taven says there's always someone waiting in the wing, and then Kenny King walks in and says, my name is Kenny, K-I-N-G, King. We were lied to, made to believe honor is real. Scott D'Amore, this is beautiful. This is a great place you have here. That's why we're going to kick in the door and we're taking over. No room for honor. And then Vincent comes in and says, that loss may have stung, but we've already lost everything. If Impact wants a fight, we'll roll out the red carpets. And then we get John Schuyler versus Bupinder, Gujar.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where Mr. Gujar's vibe goes from here. Because it was a little...
He seems to have already separated from Raj Singh, so he might be a solo act.
I figured that would happen because Raj Singh was like, my friend is gonna come and beat your ass, and I was like, that never is like a good setup by any means.
Yeah.
So there's an arm drag to Schuyler and a leg sweep to Gujar. Schuyler starts grinding on the chin of Bupinder. We get some elbows to Schuyler and a shoulder and a flying elbow from the apron into the ring. Eventually, Bupinder hits the springboard spear to win. Then Raj Singh comes out and is like, that's my best friend, beating people's asses. And Bupinder's like, nah. Not at all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder where both of them are going. If they've separated, wonder where Bupinder's going, wonder where Raj Singh's going.
Yeah. I don't know.
We haven't seen Raj Singh much. Maybe they'll feud for a little bit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because
Raj Singh is like one of the few people in Impact that I'm like, I don't know what you're up to ever. So.
Yeah. Then we get an interview with Mickie James. She says, Gia, what a night. I'm disappointed. I wanted to win the Royal Rumble. Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans walk in. Tasha's fucking hilarious. She says, oh Tasha's no, so she lost. You can say all that and no surrender after you lose to me. And then she does an impression of Mickie James. I didn't write any of it down. I don't know why. I was just lost in what she was saying.
There was no way that you were going to do it nearly as well as she did. It was a pipe dream.
Yeah. Watch the segment. Tasha Steelz is a fucking gem. She's amazing. Savannah Evans gets in between Mickie and Tasha, intimidating Mickie, and then Chelsea Green walks in, looking like she's 6 feet tall, and she backs Mickie. Tasha and Savannah walk away, and Mickie says, Chelsea, I know you want to wrestle me, so maybe next week. We're getting that match next week. Mickie James.
I'm getting a little antsy about Chelsea Green.
Are you?
She's stressing me out a little bit.
How so?
She's too friendly.
Too friendly? Oh, you think she'll turn on
like
Mickie?
it. Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
or like,
she's so friendly because they have a long history together.
Oh, I know that they've got a history and everything. I do, but it's just I don't like this version of Chelsea Green. I don't really like Chelsea Green.
Now that Cardona's turning heel, Chelsea might too. That makes sense. And next week would be the perfect kind of time to do it.
Yeah, because they're building up this like reintroduction, I guess, to their friendship. Because we really didn't see much of it previously.
Yeah.
I think that they're putting a big emphasis on it so that they can just like say, hey, snap.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so then we get an interview with... Oh, no. Then we get Masha Slamovich versus Casey Lennox. One move was used.
Yeah. Well, no. We get a spinning back heel to the head of Lennox and a boot across the face right before a Russian death device for Masha Slamovich to
What's the name of that move?
Russian death device.
Oh my god, I love that. That's sick.
It is what it is. You know?
That the Russian Doomsday device, or Russian Doomsday device, is that what it's called?
Russian death device.
Russian death device. That the Macklin's crosshairs, Josh Alexander's C4 spike. Sick names. God.
Yep.
Russian death device. So then we have an interview with Diana Perazzo. She says, I don't need to listen to anything Mickie has to say. If it wasn't for me, Mickie couldn't make a State of the Knockouts address. I may not be Knockouts World Champ, but I am a 2-time Knockouts World Champ. I am the first ever Iron Woman of Impact. I was a participant of the 2021 Knockouts Match of the Year. Also, I was in the main event of the first ever Knockouts pay-per-view. I do my talking in the ring, and for that, I need an audience, so I'm issuing an open challenge for either of my championships, either the Ring of Honor Women's Championship or the Reina de Reinas Championship. Let the age of the Virtuosa live on forever. Who do you think is going to be the challenger? I'm thinking Taya Valkyrie.
I was going to say Taya Valkyrie. I feel like it's obvious. If it's not Taya Valkyrie, then maybe it's Giselle Shaw, but I don't feel like that makes sense. I feel like it's Taya Valkyrie. I only say Giselle because like Giselle's like coming soon. It's like when? But
what about Maria Kanellis? Win that Ring of Honor title. Has she wrestled much lately? What's her last? Let me look up what her last match was.
Is Maria Kanellis still wrestling? Technically?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Maria Kanellis matches. Wow, her last match was in 2019 on Raw. And it was a mixed tag match. Becky and Seth versus Maria and Mike. Wow.
Well, in that case, I don't think it's Maria.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
And then that before that, she was in like 3, like a women's battle royal, the Royal Rumble, and then the 20 women battle royal, and then she didn't wrestle again before that. Last time she wrestled before that was in 2016 in Impact. It was Brandy and Cody Rhodes versus Maria and Mike Bennett.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But who knows? Who knows who answers that? A strong feeling it's Taya Valkyrie.
I'd put money on Taya.
Yeah. So, now that we're over the Ring of Honor stuff for now, we have Bullet Club, Jay White, Chris Bay, and G.O.D. versus Jake Something, Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton. Ace and Fulton need a name. They need a tag team name.
I don't know. They have to find some defining characteristics that they share.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is hard enough. So, Jay's first went in. Against Speedball. Jay goofs around for a hot minute and then tags Bay in. And Mike Bailey gets an arm submit. Bay. Jay gets back in. Stomps on Speedball. Yells at the ref. Tongaloa hangs Speedball up against the ropes. And then Jay like does like some weird pseudo Three Amigos thing where he suplexes Speedball, and then Tama Tonga flies into the ring and like lands on Speedball. And then he does it again, and Tongaloa flies into the ring, and then he does it again, and Bay hits him with an elbow drop. Eventually, Bailey gets tired of this, hits Bay with a hard drop kick. Like, oh my god. Fucking ridiculous. Jay ends up saving Chris. It's not enough, though. Madman Fulton gets in. He fucking dumps Bay on the apron. We go to commercial break. When we come back, it's Ace and Bay. We get a Northern Lights suplex to Bay. Fulton gets back in. He fucking gets his arms around Bay's neck and just lifts him up off the ground while standing on the second buckle so that Bay is just, choked out against his arms. Ace gets back in. He hits alternate. Let me try that again. Brain just shut off a little bit. There's alternating strikes to Bay. Bay's been in for pretty much like the longest fucking time at this point. I wasn't really even sure the GOD was going to get in at all. Bay ends up sending Fulton face first into the turnbuckle. This gets Jay in against Speedball. Jay fails the Snapdragon. Speedball hits his token rapid strikes onto Jay. Gets a twisting senton, and then Jay isn't quite staggered. He hits Speedball with maybe the biggest Uranagi I've ever fucking seen. It was stupid.
It was massive.
First of all, I've never seen a man lift another man that far off the ground with one arm. Especially when he looked like Jay White, first of all. Like, maybe if it were Jake something, I'd been like, that makes sense, but it was Jay White.
It was bigger than most of Big E's Uranagis.
Yeah. So confusing alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just fucking, like, yeets him, and I was like, oh. Well, shit. How do you do? Hate the guy. We then start getting a little bit of a Can They Coexist vibe from Jake Something and Fulton and Ace Austin and Speedball because Ace refuses to tag Jake Something in. Instead, he tags in Fulton. Tama gets in. He tries multiple drop kicks onto Ace. Fucks up some of them. Ends up getting an elbow onto him. Madman Fulton comes in. We get a Magic Killer to Fulton from Tama and Tonga. Then, pardon me. What does that? Some of my notes, I write them down. I'm like, I don't know what this is about, Elizabeth. And I know when I've written them, I'm like, oh, I'm going to know exactly what I meant here. But I don't know what two boys just vibing means.
What?
I don't know. That's one of my notes.
Okay.
Anyways, Bay is in. He hits a huge frog splash right into the knees of Ace Austin. Ace ends up it's hard when somebody has the last name something, because then you write a note like Ace fakes something out and you're like, what is something? But then you realize Ace goes to like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna tag you in to Jake Something, fakes him out. Eventually there's a huge power bomb from Jake Something, who ends up getting him. He then takes out all of Bullet Club. Jay ends up saving Chris Bay. Tonga sidelines Jake while Tama follows up. We get a Snapdragon to Jake Something from Jay. Still, once again, another moment where I was like, does he have the right to have that much muscle in those arms? I guess. And then all of Bullet Club hold Jake Something down while Chris Bay sets up for the cutter off the ropes. to win the match. That's your episode of Impact for boys and girls.
Yeah. For a hot second, I was looking at some tag teams, like the list of tag teams on a cage match, and found some really weird names. One specifically, tag team with Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. Guess what their fucking name was? Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. Slater Gator.
That's atrocious. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Horrible name. Also, Allie the Bunny and Brandy Rhodes used to be a tag team called Nightmare Sisters.
Oh.
All right. So that does it for our recap. If you have a question for our question segment, please leave it in the chat now so we can get to it after our bests of the night. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment and we'll get to it in the next one. If you're listening on Spotify, join us at twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast to talk to us live. Now, before we get to the best of the night, let me run through our current top 10 wrestlers in professional wrestling for this week. Quite a bit of change from last week after the Rumble and a bunch of other stuff. So number 10, from Choco Pro, Balian Aki, the new Super Asia champion. Number 9, from AEW, Dante Martin. Number 8, one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Luchasaurus. Number 7, the TBS Champion, Jade Cargill. Number 6, the TNT Champion, Sammy Guevara. Number 5, from Dragon Gate, Dragon Dia. Number 4, the United States Champion of WWE, Damian Priest. Number 3, the other half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy. Bless you. Number 2, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. And number 1, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Oh, is that a kitty?
She's number 1.
She is number 1. All right. So you want to talk about the best of the night?
I'll talk about a best of the night.
All right, let's talk about promo of the night. There's only one option. There's only one option for promo of the night. It's the hotel brawl.
Yeah. Why would there be another option?
They booked a whole fucking, like, I mean, they probably didn't book the hotel for this, but that's probably Moose's room. But still.
I hope so.
Imagine they booked a whole
And now Moose
room.
is just like, what do I do with, like, the fucking door?
Like, guys, the freezer doesn't work. It's cold.
Just spilling cold air out now.
All right. So yeah, that's promo of the night. Let's talk about wrestler of the night. I'm gonna give you 3 names. Let's see. All right. 3 names. Matt Cardona, Josh Alexander, and Jay White. Who are you picking?
I'm not happy about it.
You better pick the right answer. There's only one right answer.
You're right. It's Jay White. Thank you. Fuck.
What's the right answer?
Jay White.
Are you actually picking Jay White?
I am picking Jay White.
Come on. You have got to be kidding. I don't agree. I don't agree whatsoever. The real answer is Matt Cardona.
No!
Yes, it is!
Oh my god. No, it's not.
He filled that match with so much story and character.
Jay White, but thank you.
I don't agree. I don't agree. So, we'll leave it up to the chat now. Which wrestler do you think should be our wrestler of the night between Matt Cardona and Jay White? Can't wait to add Matt Cardona to this graphic. Gotta replace Jordan Grace. As Matt Cardona would say, Gresham's loser wife.
God bless.
Marion voted Jay White.
I knew it.
I've been laughing so much. Giving myself a headache.
See what happens?
Gotta stop laughing. Serious mode. Alright. Talk about match of the night. So, as always, we go from the worst match to the best match of the night. We'll talk about which one is the best match of the night. So now, starting with the worst match, 4 out of 10, Masha Slamovich versus Casey Lennox. This is a squash match. Next up, John Schuyler versus Bupinder Gujar, 4 out of 10. It was close to a squash match. Good show of Bupinder's skills. But yeah, still basically a squash. Next up, another 4 out of 10, Jonah versus Crazy Steve. Again, basically a squash. Next up, 5 out of 10, Vincent versus Josh Alexander. It's a bit overbooked for my liking. Especially when they completely cut away from the match to just show everyone brawling at ringside. It was a bit of a mess, but I'm glad there was like a solid win for Josh. Next up, another 5 out of 10, Steve Macklin versus Jonathan Gresham. DQ doesn't help it, but hopefully this pushes for a no DQ match between these guys. I don't think Macklin would be happy with this finish.
Yeah.
Next up, 6 out of 10, Bullet Club versus Jake Something, Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton. It was just a fun match. There wasn't a whole lot to it. It was just very fun. Great to see GOD and Impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, and finally, my pick for match of the night. It's Matt Cardona versus Jordan Grace. With a 7 out of 10. I thought this was a really great match. I would have put it even higher if the match wasn't so one-sided in terms of storytelling. Because it was kind of Matt Cardona's story here. Not a whole lot of Jordan Grace. Would have loved to see, like, you know, her character a little more. I don't think that's her fault. I think it's just the booking of the match.
I am only going to agree with you for one reason.
What's that?
And that was that GOD did not get enough time in this match, and I hate Can They Coexist.
And they kind of fucked the rules because, like, all 4 members of Bullet Club were in at the same time with no repercussions.
It was a bit of a mess. You know, like, it was a fun match, and mess was fine, but going up against the Matt Cardona match, yeah, fine.
And it also makes me really excited to see heel Cardona in Impact. I've been wanting that for so long. When we started watching Impact, I was like, oh hell yeah, Matt Cardona's here, that heel guy in the indies everyone's talking about. And then he was.
Did you not know who Matt Cardona was?
I knew who he was, but I knew when we got really into wrestling, he was at the time like really big at the time for his work in GCW. Like fighting Nick Gage and all that.
Oh.
And when
See, I just go on.
When we started watching Impact, he was a face. I've been waiting for his heel turn.
Yeah, see, I just remembered Zack Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where I stand. Maybe that's why I fucking can't stand him.
I mean, I knew who Zack Ryder was.
What I'm saying is that's where my familiarity with him as a wrestler in general.
Right. So. But I'm so glad he's made this shift. He's revitalized his career leaving WWE, which, you know, like a few years ago would have been unheard of.
Well, a few years ago, Nick Khan was in charge of the WWE for the most part, so.
Even before Nick Khan joined, it was...
Yeah, you're right. It was wishy-washy.
Yeah. All right, so to run it back, promo of the night, Hotel Brawl, wrestler of the night, Jay White, match of the night, Matt Cardona versus Jordan Grace. And I'm glad they're making like this digital media title like worth something. Like Tom Hannafin said, it's been defended like all over the place, and you know, it feels like it matters.
Yeah.
All right, you want to answer some questions?
I'll answer a question.
All right, you gotta stop. You know, maybe you saying just one question is dissuading other people from asking questions because they're like, oh, somebody already asked a question.
I'll answer as many questions as everybody wants to give me. How's that?
Okay. All right. So Miriam asked, where has Hikuleo been? Why isn't he part of this Bullet Club invasion? I have no clue.
I'm curious. I don't know. Like, does he have like family or something?
I don't know. Also, Hikuleo on Cage Match is rated so low.
Yeah, I know.
It's so weird. Well, most recently he was on New Japan Strong on the 15th. For New Beginning, which I don't think has aired yet.
I just wonder if he... What is he rated?
3.3.
Holy shit!
Yeah. People don't like
That's
him.
mean. Why?
I don't know.
I'll fight somebody.
A lot of people saying he's just bland.
I'll show you bland.
I'm glad he's in the tag team though, because I feel like as just a singles guy, he might come off as like a Big Show or somebody who's just meant to put over other people.
I mean, like, he hasn't posted since last year on Instagram, so I don't know.
Like I said,
I don't know if, like, is he good?
he was in that,
I miss him.
He was in that match in the 15th in Washington. But who knows what he's doing currently. Maybe he's been asked to be sidelined for now while God and Jay White come in.
Yeah, I mean, there is a chance that they were like, they didn't want to take the spotlight off of anybody and they didn't want to make Hikuleo look unimportant by not including him in matches. Yeah. So that could have been it.
They should bring back Hikuleo and LP for like a Violent by Design, Good Brothers. What would make that 6-on-6? You just needed one more member for VBD and Good Brothers.
Yeah.
That'd be a massive match.
That'd be a really sick match.
I don't know. I don't even know if it would be very good because it's so many people. But you have like 2 matches going on at the same time, 3-on-3.
I mean, as long as Hikuleo's been wrestling, I guess I'm not worried.
Yeah.
But it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I wonder if like it's like COVID stuff. If they just are trying to restrict people from traveling that don't need to travel.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of people that we haven't really seen. Like we haven't seen Finn either. But I guess they don't have anything going on. Bullet Club does.
Wait, let me see when the taping for this episode was.
It was January 20th and 21st, I thought.
I'm gonna make sure, and I'm probably gonna spoil shit for me. Okay. So that was the 21st. And Hikuleo was in Washington on the 15th, so just a week, less than a week before. 2 days before. No, 6 days before. Miriam asked, did Jay White's time and impact last summer overlap with Hikuleo's? I think it did. I think it just barely overlapped.
Yeah, I definitely think it did. Because Jay White came out, teamed with Chris Bay. Hikuleo kind of was like the surrogate Jay for a while. Mm-hmm. In the sense that like he teamed up with Bay and like kind of enforced the Bullet Clubbiness.
And then LP
instead of just being like, yeah, and then LP came in. Instead of just being like, Chris Bay's part of Bullet Club now. Have fun. I don't know. You know. I wonder if I wonder if we'll get him back. I don't think we will, honestly.
I don't know.
I really don't. Now that I think about it more.
I just hope that God wins those tag titles.
I don't think they will, and it's gonna piss me off. Because if they don't win it, then the Good Brothers are gonna definitely be like, see, we made this shit. Like, we run this shit now. And, like, think that they're top dogs in the Bullet Club house, and they're not.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, that's all the questions we got. Liz, would you like to close out the show?
If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. If you join us in the future, thank you so much. There's a holiday coming up.
Valentine's Day.
It's not. Oh yeah, Valentine's Day is actually coming up first. What is the other one that's coming up this month? And I feel like
President's
I'm gonna be like,
Day.
Is that this month?
Yeah, it's the 21st.
Why?
And there's also Impact No Surrender.
Oh, that was the holiday I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So please tune in on Sunday when we'll definitely be doing our Sunday show, which will be GCW's Fight Club 2.
GCW versus Loco Fight Club 2 Houston.
Yeah. Please join us for that. It's gonna be super fun. We're gonna have it's a nice relaxed time.
I feel like we should start doing predictions for these shows. I feel like we might get to a point where we could start predicting these GCW shows.
Yeah, sure.
Ring of Honor too. Make it a little fun.
Sure.
We don't drink for the predictions anymore, so it's less toll on our body.
Well, hot sauce also has a toll on my body. It's just a different kind of toll. The sort of toll where I'm curled up on the ground crying.
Maybe don't have super spicy food before we start the show.
You gotta live your life by the spice.
No, you don't. You don't.
I just love spicy shit.
Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, join us on Sunday for our GCW Fight Club 2 recap and review. We will be live on Friday, tomorrow, for our WWE 2K20 live stream. That'll be happening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going up against SmackDown, head to head. Our Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, and Twitter are all the Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And again, join us tomorrow for our 2K20 live stream. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic night. And bye-bye.